They are in perpetual mourning, not only over the loss of their loved one, but because of the way they say they had to say goodbye to her. CBS 2's Lisa Rosner says the family is suing the funeral home because they don't want this to happen to anyone else.
With just flowers and a photo of 37-year-old Regina Kristoff, this was not the goodbye her family wanted. They hired McManus Funeral Home on Avenue N shortly after her death, June 24th. But asked for a funeral date 2 weeks later so family could fly in for the open casket memorial service. But the day of the funeral, her mom says Kristoff was so unrecognizable the casket was removed.
It was very decomposed. It was a bad stench. Her dress was filthy. They put a whole bunch of makeup all over the white dress. They had a garbage bag around her neck, a black one. They had two bags around her feet. You know, as to say she was garbage.
The family made repeated attempts to see the body before the actual funeral, and they were denied access until the day of.
To make matters worse, the family says the funeral director wasn't even on site, only a receptionist.
He came over and took the extra cloth that was hanging off of the casket and covered her face with it.
Then they say a family member and the employee removed the casket, but they were traumatized.
When I got home, I couldn't even stand. We're in the Haitian community. The dead is sacred.
The medical examiner tells us Kristoff's body was picked up June 24th and ready for release the next day. But the family says even though at that time they were in contact with the funeral home waited several days to pick her body up. We spoke with funeral director Anthony Tanga, who allowed us to record the conversation.
Why did her body end up the way that it was?
I think there was a lot of factors, the heat factor, the date, from the day of death to the day the family came in, to the day she was removed, to the viewing. It was days and days.
Was there any lapse in communication among your staff?
No, she was embalmed, she was refrigerated, kept in what's called a cold room.
The Kristoff family said they never received any apology. Through tears, Tanga had this message for Kristoff's mother.
I don't know what to tell you, but tell her I'll always pray for her, love her. I want forgiveness first, and I need it. I'm sure they give it to me, I'm fine with it, but am I sorry? Oh my heart, I'm sorry.
Afterward, Tanga did walk across the street to apologize in person, but she declined to speak with him.
The day of the funeral is when I tried to call him, and the receptionist, he went in the back to talk to him. And he came back, he said, Anthony doesn't know what I'm talking about.
Attorney John Daly is not involved in this case, but says New York law gives families the right to respectfully say goodbye to a loved one.
Once the body is in the custody of the funeral home, they need to pick it up immediately.
He adds a family should have access to see the body whenever they want to. But for Kristoff's family, their last images of her haunt them. They try to replay memories like this of the nurse and single mom of two's bubbly and outgoing personality.
All right, no one said goodbye. No one. He took that right away from us for us to say goodbye.
In Flatlands, Brooklyn, Lisa Rosner, CBS 2 News.